Hey, this is Angela.
What's up, this is Richie, and here with our Week 9 college football picks. Before we start, fucking AP poll again. UCF was number 10. They beat a team by 27 points with a backup true freshman quarterback.
Yes.
And still got jumped by a team that had a bye week. Second week in a row. Now it was my Gators that did it, but still, be fair. At least move them up a spot. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like, AP poll, I know you don't matter anymore, but the college football playoff committee guys, like, and they come out, I think, next week, like after next weekend. I think the first college football committee polls come out. I'm not saying UCF should be in the top 4, but move them fucking up. Like,
at least one. Jeez.
At least one, yeah. Like Ohio State got killed.
Blown out.
Blown out. And they did drop below UCF, which I'm surprised with that. Fucking A, man. Like, I swear to God, Florida plays Georgia this weekend, and both top 10 teams, and whoever loses that, are they gonna even drop below UCF? Like, you guys are stupid. Like, the nation is dumb. And the AP poll is sort of a reflection. You media guys don't know football. Like, you don't. The coaches poll fucking dropped UCF one. I thought they knew football. They don't know shit. They can go fuck themselves. Whatever. Let's get back into these picks. AP poll, fuck off. You don't deserve to have jobs. I'm pretty much just going to be talking myself. Angela's not. She's kind of got a cold and a cough, and every time she starts talking, she keeps coughing. So she's just going to pick her pick silently, and this week you'll just hear me talking and picking. So we'll start with the first game, Clemson against Florida State. Florida State's been playing better, but I'm going to go with Clemson to win. Next game, Wisconsin. Badgers taking on Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern's decent, but Wisconsin's a better team, so I'm going to go with Wisconsin to win. Purdue facing Michigan State. Purdue's coming off a huge win against Ohio State. This could be a game where Purdue kind of is coming down from that big win high, but Michigan State has been kind of mediocre though, and they're about even, honestly, and so I think Purdue wins. Vanderbilt taking Arkansas. Arkansas has been playing better the last couple of games. Their offense is pretty good, or decent anyway. They can score, and Vanderbilt can't really score a whole lot, so I'm going to go with Arkansas. Texas Tech and Iowa State, this could be a bit of a shootout, could be pretty close, but I'm going to go with Texas Tech. Wake Forest, they started off the season well, they kind of dipped, but they're facing the Louisville Cardinals, and Louisville hasn't been very good at all this year, so I'm going to go Wake Forest. UMass taking on UConn. UConn almost beat USF the other day, so I'm going to go with UConn to win. Army facing Eastern Michigan. Army's got one of the best running games in the country, so I'm going to go with Army to win. Central Michigan take on Akron. Another team's very good. They're about even, but I'm going to go with Akron. 1AA Bethune-Cookman taking on Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska finally won their first game of the year, and I think they win their second. North Carolina Tar Heels, they pushed Syracuse to overtime this past weekend. They've been in a lot of games, but Virginia looks like a really, really good ACC team, beating Duke and Miami in the last 2 games, so I'm going to go with Virginia. Southern Miss Golden Eagles taking on Charlotte. Southern Miss has a pretty good passing offense. I'm going to go with Southern Miss. Coastal Carolina taking on Georgia State. Coastal Carolina beat UMass. It looks like Coastal Carolina could very well make a bowl game this year, which is cool because it's their first full year as a FBS team. And I think they beat Georgia State. Kansas State Wildcats taking on Oklahoma Sooners. Kansas State, every year they win 1 or 2 games they shouldn't. So Oklahoma should not look past them, but I'm going to go with Oklahoma. They have a Heisman quarterback candidate in Kyler Murray. TCU Horned Frogs taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas, one of the top teams in the country in forcing turnovers, interceptions, turnover margin, everything. TCU, they played pretty well against Oklahoma for a lot of the game. This might be even, but I'm going to go with TCU to actually win. Oregon State Beavers taking on the Colorado Buffaloes. Oregon State I whiffed on last week. I thought they'd win. They lost 49-7. Colorado, they had a pretty decent game against Washington. They lost 27-13, but it was pretty close most of the game. So I'm going to go with Colorado. They're actually a really good team. Alright, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, which is where College Game Day will be. Both Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs in the top 10. Gators have a really good defense. Georgia's got a good overall team. Florida offense, they're looking better, but they're still kind of a work in progress. I'm going to go with the Gators. The Gators, no matter what, they've pretty much owned Georgia for the last 28 years. I can't remember the exact record they have over them, but I think they've lost like 6 times in the last 28 years to them. So overall, Florida's pretty much owned it. I think Florida, this is their bounce back year. They win. Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Iowa's the surprise team. Their defense is good. They have decent running game. Quarterback's okay. Penn State, they're fun to watch. Trace McSorley. This is even, but I'm actually going to give the edge to Iowa. I think Iowa wins this game. Cincinnati Bearcats, they lost their first game of the year, taking on Southern Methodist. But I think Cincinnati bounces back and they win. USF Bulls taking on the Houston Cougars. USF is still undefeated. Houston's one of the best offenses in the country. They've only lost 1 game. I have a feeling this will be the game that USF finally loses. I want USF to win. Houston, their quarterback Derek King is way too good, and USF has been so inconsistent. They'll be good for a half, or bad for a half, good for a quarter, bad for a quarter, bad for 3 quarters, good for 1, like they were against Tulsa a few weeks ago. I have a hard time seeing, with the way USF has been playing, I have a hard time seeing, they can keep up with Houston, but I'm gonna give the edge to Houston. I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think Houston actually wins. Arizona State taking on USC. This should be even. USC got blown out by Utah. I think they bounce back, though. I think USC wins this one. Illinois taking on Maryland. Both are even. Both are fighting for a bowl spot. Both have really good running games. Maryland got shut out last week. But I think they bounce back, and I think they beat Illinois. Duke taking on Pitt. Pittsburgh Panthers. Duke lost to Virginia. But I think Duke bounces back. I think Duke wins. Middle Tennessee taking on Old Dominion. Old Dominion won. Both teams won, but Middle Tennessee should be the better overall team, so I think Middle Tennessee wins. Northern Illinois, decent MAC team against BYU. I'll give the edge to BYU. They look good the last game they played. Kentucky against Missouri. Kentucky, they're a ranked team, but they kind of get by. I think Missouri destroys them. I think part of it is I hope Missouri destroys them because I don't believe Kentucky's nearly a top 15 team. But I think on paper Missouri's offense is good. Kentucky's offense, they have a good running back in Benny Snell Jr. and that's it. Their defense is not bad, but they haven't really faced an offense not like Missouri. So Missouri destroys them. New Mexico, Utah State, this should be a pretty good game. But both really good offenses, but Utah State, one of the top offenses scoring in the country, so I think Utah State wins. Rice against North Texas. North Texas is a good CUSA team. Rice is not a good team at all, so North Texas wins. Washington taking on Cal. This could be pretty interesting. Cal has been decent, but I think Washington probably wins in a close game. UNLV Rebels taking on San Jose State. San Jose State's terrible. UNLV... they almost beat Air Force. I think UNLV should win. NC State, they got killed by Clemson like I thought they would. Syracuse, this will be an even game. Both offenses are decent. I'm going to go with Syracuse. I still don't trust North Carolina State. Texas A&M taking on Mississippi State. I'm going to go with A&M. Mississippi State's kind of been bleh. A&M's a better overall team. Washington State and Stanford, this will be good. Washington's come up with a big win, a nice win over Oregon. Stanford coming up with a nice, decent win against Arizona State. I'm going to go with Washington State. I think they're offensively, they pass it around, they can score. But really, the surprise to me, their defense is one of the top 20 defenses in the country. So, Washington State. Boise State. And Air Force gives them problems. They have a triple option, but I think Boise State should win. and move it up and down Air Force. Arkansas State and Louisiana, two good Sun Belt teams. This actually could go either way. Louisiana only lost by 10 to Appalachian State, which is one of the best teams in. Appalachian State actually just got ranked this week. That being said, I will give the edge to Arkansas State. Arkansas State, their quarterback last week had an awesome game. Tulane taking on Tulsa. I'm going to go with Tulane. They're kind of even. They're kind of mediocre at best, so I'm going to go with Tulane. New Mexico State take on Texas Tech. I'm actually going to go with New Mexico State in this. Their offense can at least move it and score. Texas State, they have a pretty decent defense, but they can't really do a whole lot else. UAB, they got a really good win against North Texas. They might be the team to beat in this USA against UTEP. UTEP has now lost 20 in a row. They almost have won their last few games, but I'm going to go with UAB. I think UAB wins. Tennessee against South Carolina. This will be even. Tennessee's been playing. They got killed by Alabama, but who hasn't this year? Tennessee, the last couple of games look decent. South Carolina's been okay. They're kind of even. I'm going to give the edge to South Carolina, though. Florida International against Western Kentucky. Florida International should win. They're coming off of. They beat Rice by a bunch of points. Western Kentucky's not great, so we're going to go Florida International. Notre Dame against Navy. This game is always kind of close. Navy, I don't think Navy. I honestly think Navy will lose 2 games in their last few games. But I don't think this will be it. I think Notre Dame beats Navy. Texas and Oklahoma State. This will probably be a shootout. Oklahoma State lost, I think, their last 2, but I don't. I'm gonna go upset here. Oklahoma State beats Texas, who's in the top 10. I think Oklahoma State wins. Oregon taking on Arizona. Oregon lost to Washington State, but Arizona's kind of been mediocre. I think Oregon bounces back, and I think Oregon wins. Hawaii against Fresno State. This will be one of the best games in the Mountain West. Hawaii, though, lost their last game. They got to go to Fresno State. Fresno State's just really good overall. Top 30 offense and defense. Hawaii is one of the best offenses, especially passing in the country. This will be a pretty good game, but I'm actually going to go with Fresno State to win because of their defense. I kind of want Hawaii to win, but I don't dislike Fresno State. I think Fresno State is a better team. And the final game, San Diego State Aztecs and Nevada Wolfpack. This will be good too. San Diego State's got a really, really good defense, but their offense has not been great. Nevada's coming off a really big win against Hawaii, and their offense is pretty good. Nevada. You know what? I can't. I'm going to go with Nevada. I think Nevada wins. So those are the Saturday picks. Go check out our weekday previews and picks. Check out our other videos. Peace.